Hello, I'm Chloe Benz, and this is my experience in ECS210 this semester. At the beginning of the semester, the curriculum scared me. It was this big government official document that controls what you can and can't do as a teacher. The curriculum was like this huge wall that I couldn't see around or make out what was behind it. What was behind it was unknown to me. Well, throughout this semester, I have made it around this wall and have come to find that it really isn't that scary. We started the semester learning about Kimishiro, a name I had never heard before. He had this theory of common sense that stated that common sense is general knowledge that people living in a certain area are expected to know. I thought that common sense was just general knowledge when it came to schooling. But now I see that common sense limits how schooling is structured. I believe that it is hard to change what one perceives as common sense, because common sense is rooted within us by society. According to Kimishiro's views on common sense, a good student is one that follows rules, does what is asked of them, respects the authority of the classroom teacher, and completes all their schoolwork. Most of the time in schools, this good student is a well-behaved, quiet girl. Next, we learned about curriculum as product. This is my least favorite type of curriculum. I don't like to look at students as if they are products or something to be produced. Our students are people and should be seen that way. Ralph Tyler, yet another name I hadn't heard before this class. Ralph is the opposite of me, thinking that our students should be a product. Ralph was the main man behind a lot of my struggling in schooling. Growing up, I feared tests, especially big standardized tests. I never did well on these tests and memorization, so it was not an effective approach to schooling for me. I want to work with my students to focus on the process, not the endpoint. Along with Kimishiro and Ralph Tyler, there are many other theorists and philosophers who we talked about who have had big influences on the curriculum and our individual views as teachers. There are a lot of amazing people who have had big influences on what education is today, such as Michael Apple, Will Richardson, John Dewey, Maria Montessori, and my personal favorite, Rudolf Steiner. We talked about progressivism, reconceptualists, critical thinkers, and connectivism. I found that I mainly fit in with the progressivism view, mainly because I believe that education should be centered around the child. The curriculum is mostly controlled by big corporate individuals who have no idea what it's like to be in a classroom. It really angers me that teachers don't have much say when it comes to the curriculum and planning. We are the ones who are in the classrooms working with the curriculum each and every day. The individuals making the curriculum don't have any idea what it's like. Teachers are expected to fit so much into so little time. We also spoke a lot about First Nations and treaty education. This really made me angry, because there's so much about treaty education that I missed through my schooling process. I felt as though I was robbed of the knowledge and experience. It frustrates me that things like residential schools happen, and we are still not talking about it with our future students. As much as this angers and frustrates me, I think it's a good thing because it has made me so much more passionate about teaching my students about deeply rooted problems in our society. White privilege. This was probably one of the best things to come out of this class for me. I learned so much about myself and have come to terms with my position in society as a white person. Before this class, I didn't think that white privilege was a problem in our society today, and I definitely didn't think that I fell into this category. I think that the biggest thing we need to do as teachers is to have tough conversations with our students and let them know that it's okay. It's even good to acknowledge tough situations. In this class, along with other classes this semester, we talked about the importance of equity over equality. Equity is giving everyone an equal chance, while equality is giving everyone the same chance. I have come to the conclusion that when working with students, equity is the most important, especially when it comes to race. This reminds me of an analogy I talked about in my last blog post. It's like if there was a subdivision and a house was on fire. The fire department wouldn't show up and start putting water on all the houses because all houses matter. They would show up and they would turn their water on the house that is burning because that's the house that needs help the most. I think in our society, oftentimes, the ones that need the most help are our First Nations people. Before this class, I thought that we should all get the same equal rights, but now I see that that's not fair, and that we should be assisting these people because they are the ones struggling and the ones that need help. Well, there it is. It looks like I've made it over this wall I have come to know as the curriculum. It wasn't quite as scary as I thought it was going to be. I feel as though I have a better understanding of the curriculum and will be better able to work alongside it. This course has angered me, saddened me, and excited me, but overall, it has made me a better teacher for it. Thank you, ECS210.